Hello. I met with my field instructor to discuss the importance of empathy in my interaction with my clients and their family. We highlighted the importance of maintaining a sense of self reflection. And self reflection is really important because it's part of being aware of our biases and not letting that interfere with our ability to interact and provide services for the individual. One area that I would struggle when I was doing my investigations on child abuse was when I would interact with the perpetrator, which was the perpetrator that sexually abused the minor. I would go to meet with him at the jail, and I had to interact with them, provide him with their rights, and explain to him the situation, and still maintain that ability to be respectful, give them resources, give them, their rights. And that was really difficult for me, but I had to remember what my role was as a social worker. And it was not to judge or just to be a neutral party and do my investigation and make my decision based on facts. And despite what that individual did, he still had the right, especially if I was removing custody, temporary custody of his kids or child. He had the right um, to get the information so he could present himself to court and give them the information needed. So as a social worker or as a future therapist, I'm going to deal with different type of people, different backgrounds, different issues, and different addictions. And I'm going to have to learn to maintain that self reflection, not letting my values or my beliefs get in the way. And that's one of the things that I was talking to my field instructor. Um, Also involving also, developing a strong interpersonal skills is also crucial in creating a rapport. So that's another thing that we discuss in building a rapport, building a trust. And that's really important, especially right now, what I work with adolescents. Um, I work in a shelter for adolescents or for kids that are waiting to be placed in foster homes or group homes. So I'm right now particularly I deal with adolescents. So adolescents could be challenging, and sometimes they refuse to get placed. But where they're at right now is in a shelter, and that it's supposed to be a 10-day shelter, but unfortunately, we don't have many options for placement for adolescents. A lot of foster parents don't want to deal with adolescents, yet alone um, adolescents with challenges. So, in order for the adolescent, for the youth to really um, allow the social worker, myself, to be guided or to be directed, it's really important to build that report, the report process. Because if you don't have it, the adolescent, the youth is not gonna listen, and they're just gonna curse at you, or they're just gonna say, forget it, I don't care. They've already lost the trust of many adults that should have been there for them and take care of them. So the trust is already not there. So it's important to have that. The interpersonal skills is one is building that rapport. And one thing that I do is just um, provide a very non-judgmental, um, just calm type of environment. I try to be approachable. I try not to be pushy or just take my time. Sometimes I take them out. We go out to lunch or just hang out, talk. I find out about what their interests are. Like, I had a kid that really, he likes to watch the news and he was watching the debate, and we were rooting for different parties, but he loved to engage with me. He would say, "Hey, Nancy, did you watch the debate last night? You're still voting for so and so?" I go, "Yeah." I go, Would you still vote for so and so?" And we were just engage in policies, and he loved it. And that's how I built a rapport. So right now we're trying to get him placed, and he really seeks for my advice. And he's always, "Well, Nancy, what do you think? Should I go here? Should I go there?" And I try not to, you know, inject my opinions in terms of there's certain group homes that I rather him go, but I can't impose that on him. So I need him to make that decision. So what we discuss is just like the positives, the pros and the cons of each group home, and kind of like what are his interests and what group home is going to provide those resources for him. And so I love that because of the interpersonal skills, which includes report building, active listening, approaching being approachable. Those things have helped me develop this connection with him, this connection with me, and this trust in allowing him to guide him when it comes to placement. And that's challenging, especially for teenagers. So the interpersonal skills, which involves report building, is really important, especially in this population, this clients that are adolescents and are trying to get placed, because they're very picky, very selective, and they're very angry. And so rapport building is really important. Active listening, showing empathy, um, basically, making statements like, I understand your frustration. I could I could imagine how frustrating it is being here for so long, and not having so many, the options that you would like. So those type of statements are that provide that empathy, and which will result in that trusting relationship, which will benefit in the long run. Because when they're going to make a decision, they seek for advice and direction. And so, yeah, and those are the discussions that I had with my field instructor.